This is Hollywood for Hollywood Hernandez Live, along with LP on the scene. And we're having a good time tonight at the Dallas Black Dance Theater, where choreographer Ray Mercer is here. He's working on a project for the Dallas Black Dance Theater that comes out in May. And we're going to visit with him and find out a little bit about this artist that has been dancing on Broadway in The Lion King for the past 16 years. Hey, it's Hollywood for LP on the scene and Hollywood Hernandez Live. And we're here with Ray Mercer, who has got a yet untitled piece that he is working on here with the Dallas Black Dance Theater. Now, explain that to me. Why are you going to bring me up here for an unfinished, you don't have it titled
yet? Well, we've been working all week. We have been working all week on this particular project, and I kind of wanted to wait until the end of the process to see exactly how I would interpret not only the choreography and the movement, but the dancer's interpretation of it. So I'm still working on a title.
Now, your experience is you danced for many years on the is it the Broadway version of Lion King?
Yeah, I'm in the Broadway version of Lion King. I'm in my 16th year on Broadway in the Lion King. It's been a process, but I'm having a good time. Having a real good time.
What is your character in the?
I'm a dancer, but I do the draft track. Have you ever seen it before? Yeah. I do the draft track. I do all the tumbling too in the show.
Okay. Now, just watching the rehearsal, we were watching the rehearsal here a little bit earlier, and just the words powerful and athletic and passionate come through. And doing a little research on you, once I realized you weren't Ray Mercer, the boxer.
I get that a lot. I do get that a lot, Hollywood.
I did go to your website where you, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically you said whatever you kind of like emotion you feel, it's like take it as far as you can and put it up there. So how did you do that with this?
I think that dance for me, it comes from the human spirit. It is who we are. So a lot of times I take movement and phrases and music that kind of exploits the human spirit. Everything that we go through as human beings, we cry, we laugh, we fight, we love, all those things. I like to exploit those things in my choreography. Yeah.
I once asked a movie director, Oliver Stone, a question that I was surprised by his answer, and I want to ask you the same question.
Okay.
When you go into a project, do you already have it like envision it's going to be like this? I'm going to put A with B with C with D, or does it develop as the process goes?
Right. It's different for me most of the time. Usually because I'm under a time constraint, I usually pretty much have mapped out what my intentions are, and I have, phrases and music prepared. So I'm pretty much prepared when I walk into the studio. There are times when you come in and you start something and it ends up being something else. You look at the dancers and the way they approach the choreography, and it ends up being something completely different than what you started. So it can happen either way for me. Usually 9 times out of 10, I come with something already in my mind and ready to go.
Has it ever just gone a totally like, oh, wait a minute, she's got that skill and maybe I could do this?
Absolutely. There's times when you walk in, and a lot of times I don't know the dancers. They're foreign to me, and I walk in and I'm like, wow, I didn't anticipate this happening, and you might have to rearrange a couple of things to facilitate, their movement quality sometimes, their capability, their facility. All those things come into play when you're in the process. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about the process, is that you're sharing. I'm giving to them, they're giving back to me. So this whole process is a process of sharing with each other.
And what do you want to say about these young men and women who are the ensemble of the Dallas Black Dance Theater?
Oh my God, they are some of the hardest working dancers here. They came in with a work ethic and a focus and a willingness to get the choreography that helps out with the process. This was a huge piece with a lot of things going on, but they took the challenge and ran with it. And it helps that they're genuinely good people. They are genuinely kind, good people.
When you are working on something like this with the people that you're working with, are you a taskmaster? Is like, I want this, I want.
Pretty much.
Pretty
yeah,
much.
I got to be honest, Hollywood. Yeah, I am.
I
Yeah,
got that
I am.
impression. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
do.
saying.
I have an agenda when I walk into the room, and I pretty much like to get that done. There are times when, things come up, and you have to roll with the punches. But usually, I'm pretty much of a taskmaster. I have to be because I have a short amount of time.
Right, right. Yeah, well, I could tell the look in their eyes. They were trying to get your approval during the rehearsal, but after it, everybody was hugging you and loving
Yes,
you. So
yeah, it really was.
you can't be too rough.
No, I know, I'm not. And I think that it's really important when you go into a process that you have to approach it with a genuine spirit. If I'm not one for the hollering and screaming and all that, and I think that you get a lot more done if you come with a genuine approach. And I try always to do that.
Let me ask you one last question. What
Okay.
is the difference for you between being a dancer on Broadway and coming out to a town like Dallas and being the choreographer for a group like this?
You kind of have to just switch gears. There's a certain amount of discipline that is required for both of them. When I'm on stage, I have to be focused, and I have to make sure that I'm there to do a job and I'm there to entertain people. And then when I come as a choreographer, I have a job to do. My job is to communicate this work and use these dancers as a vessel so I'm able to get my vision across. Two very different things, but because it's dance, they kind of work together.
Well, Ray, thank you for your time,
Hollywood,
man.
I appreciate
it.
I like your spirit.
Oh, well, thank you,
I
man.
do.
Thank you.
It was great talking
we
to
had a
you.
good time.
Yeah.
And of course, the yet untitled.
Yeah, it's coming. I promise, it's coming.
It's coming out in May for the Dallas Black Dance Theater, and of course, we'll keep you posted. It's Hollywood Hernandez live for LP on the Scene.